Hi, I'm Shanna. Thanks for joining me today, friends. We're going to work on an arm balance today because arm balances are always fun. This one we've got two options. It's called elephant trunk, or if you get elephant trunk and it's a piece of cake, you can step one step further and take it to 8 angle pose. So these are going to be great. It's a good thing to try. You're going to be close to the ground. There's nothing scary about it. It never hurts to try. But before we get into these arm balances, we always have to warm up. This one will not work if you're not warm, I promise. So let's do a quick little warm up, hitting a few special things that we need to work on, then we'll get into it. Come to seated. This time, bring the soles of your feet together. This is called Baddha Konasana. Sometimes it's called cobbler pose. Your feet get just as comfortable to your groin as you can get. They don't have to be all the way in. Sometimes you'll do this in a PE class. It's called butterfly. Grab onto your ankles. Lift the crown of your head up towards the sky. Let your knees start to feel heavy. You can give them a little wiggle. Wave them like a butterfly a little bit. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time in. And out. Go ahead and open your eyes if they were closed and come onto your hands and knees. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We're going to do a cat-cow. So starting with cow, drop your belly, lift your tailbone and the crown of your head up toward the earth, into cow. And then press the earth away, spread your shoulder blades apart, tuck your chin, into cat. Up the other way into cow as you breathe in. And exhale, cat, as you breathe out. One more time in. And out. And now come to a neutral spine. Pick up your right foot and step it on the outside of your right hand. And then from here, just kind of give yourself a shimmy forward and backward. You don't have to come all the way into a straight leg. We're really here not even so much worried about your hamstring, the back of your leg getting lengthened, but getting into your hips and getting things a little looser in your hips. So wiggle things around a little bit. And then step your right foot back into tabletop and we'll switch other side. Your left foot steps forward. Hinge forward and back a little bit. Getting into your hips, wiggling it out. Come back to neutral. Set your leg back. Tuck your toes and press your hips high, downward facing dog. Let your feet pedal out, settle in, see how this feels. Your chest drops through in between your arms. Your heels reach towards the ground. And I always like to do a sun salutation before I start much of anything, so we're definitely going to build that in today. Here we go. Take a look at your hands, and as you exhale, walk or tiptoe all the way up to your hands, and let yourself fold forward. Inhale, roll all the way up. Fingers come up, arms come up, and exhale, hands come down to heart center. Your hands are going to run right into your heart. This time, keep going all the way down to a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. That means you put your hands on your shins, make a number 7, flat back, zip up your core, exhale, forward fold back down. Plant your hands on your mat, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, you're in high plank. Breathe in and breathe out. Squeeze your elbows to the back of the room, right alongside your rib cage. Lower your chest all the way to the earth. Inhale, lift your chest and shoulders. Exhale, forehead down. Press back to a tabletop position. Tuck your toes and come to downward facing dog again. Right back to where we started. Breathe in and breathe out. Now lift your right leg up to the sky. 3-legged dog. Bend your knee so that your heel drops towards your bum. Now start to point your knee up at the ceiling. We call this opening our hips. You're stacking your right hip on top of your left. You can make some big circles with your knee here. And circle the other way. Now straighten that right leg again. Bring your knee forward and step your right foot outside of your right hand. This is kind of like we did at the beginning. Drop your back knee down and untuck your toe. Now you have options. You can stay right here and just sort of wiggle like we did at the beginning. Or if it works in your body, you can bring your arms all the way down to the ground. And if it works in your body, you can let your knee fall to the side, coming onto the pinky edge of your foot. So just rest here for a couple breaths. One more breath in and out. Plant your hands back on the mat if they're not there. Come back onto the sole of your foot. Plant your left hand on the mat right in front of your face and bring your right arm up to the sky, just finding a little twist for a minute. Breathe in and breathe out. Both hands come back down. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee off the ground, and step your right foot back, downward facing dog. And we'll do that on the other side. So lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Now let your heel fall towards your bum, opening up your knee, stacking your left hip on top of your right. Big circles with your knee. And circle the other way. Now send your left leg straight again. Exhale, draw your knee in, step your left foot outside of your left hand. Drop your back knee down. Untuck your toes. You can stay right here, or you can drop down to your forearms, only if it feels okay. If this also feels good and you still have a little more space to stretch, let your knee fall to the side, coming onto the pinky edge of your left foot, just opening things up a little bit. Stay for a breath in, breath out. Plant both hands back on the earth. Your left foot steps back down. Take your right hand, put it right in front of your face, and your left arm reaches up. Again, a big twist. Breath in. Breath out. Plant your left hand back down. Tuck your back toes. Pick up your back knee and step your left foot back downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Drop down to your knees. Sit back. Okay, are we ready to try this arm balance? Here we go. So come to seated, and I'll mirror you today. So we're gonna start with our left leg up. So you pull your left knee into your chest, and you put your left knee into your elbow, and your left foot into your other elbow, and you hold your leg like you're rocking a baby. And if this is good, and you're like, I'm gonna stay right here, I don't want to go any further, then that's fine. So this is where it starts. You rock your leg like a baby. Your next step, you take that left leg and you put it on your shoulder like it's a backpack. Now, I can't even get my leg all the way on top of my shoulder, but that's the idea. You want to get it nice and high. High, 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 up as high on your tricep or as high on your shoulder as you can get it. So put your leg on like a backpack. Got it? Feels good? Now take your hands, plant them on the ground with your fingers pointing at the front of the room. Now this first step is elephant trunk pose. You have your right leg extended on the ground. Your hands are firmly planted. Your elbows are not out like this. Your elbows are pointing towards the back of the room. And when you're ready, you lift your bum off the ground. And this is elephant trunk pose. And lower yourself back down. And you might only lift for a second or two. It's not easy. Try. Lift that leg up if it starts to slide. Plant those hands. Your elbows point at the back of the room and you lift. Just for a second and lower back down. Now if that feels good and you're like, I've got this. This is a piece of cake I can lift. Then you pick up that right leg. It's down in front of you. You set it on top. And you see my feet, they hook together, all friendly, right? Now this time when you lift up, you're gonna start to rotate your forehead forward. So your weight's gonna shift forward and your legs are gonna start to move that direction. If your body's ready, it'll happen naturally. So you start to shift your weight forward, shift, your bum comes off the ground, and this is perfect. And if you can take it a little further, then you start to straighten your legs towards the side of the room. And that's 8 angle pose. And you don't have much to lose. What's the worst that can happen? You fall back on your behind. You're not way up high, you're not in a handstand, you're not upside down. The worst that can happen is you sit back down. So give it a try. We'll walk through it one more time before we do the other side. Lift up your left leg, put it on your shoulder like a backpack. Plant your hands. Lift up, that's elephant trunk. Pick your right foot up, hook it over, make that nice connection. Really, those feet are hooked together. Shift your weight forward, lift your booty off the ground. And maybe you start to extend your legs towards the side of the room. 8 angle pose. Okay, we always have to do the other side in yoga, or we'll walk around feeling lopsided all day. So send your feet out in front of you, give them a shake. Take a breath in and a breath out. Other side. So this time you're gonna pick up your right leg and start to cradle it in your arm, just like it's a baby. Now don't be surprised if one side is way easier than the other. That's normal. A lot of us will have one side that's more flexible or stronger or both. So pick which side, but don't ever ignore one side completely or you'll end up really lopsided. You always gotta try both. Okay, pick up that leg, put it on your shoulder like a backpack. Get it up there. Okay, this feels pretty good. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Extend that left leg out in front of you. Lift up, elephant trunk. Maybe lower down. Okay, that felt good and you're ready for 8 angle. Pick up your left foot, hook it on top. Start to shift your weight forward, shift, 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 shift until your bum starts to lift off the ground. And if that feels okay, then you can shift forward even further and extend your legs way out to the side. And again, all you have to do is set your bum back off the ground if it's not working. Whew. Okay, I'll walk through it one more time. Pick up your right leg over your shoulder like a backpack. Plant those hands and lift up, elephant trunk. Awesome. Other option, hook your left foot on top. Shift your weight forward. Start to send your legs out towards the side of the room. 8 angle pose. All right. That gets to be hard work, even for just a minute. Let's come right back to where we started. Soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Grab your ankles. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One more time, a breath in. And a breath out. Draw your hands to your heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope this was fun. I hope you learned a little bit, and I'm grateful I got to be a part of your yoga journey. Namaste.